Do you remember when you first started stand-up comedy here in Oman?
Yes.
Do you remember the event that High FM put together?
Yes.
And that was the first time you started?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you all about Joe Sims and how he started stand-up comedy, because I was there and I personally witnessed it. I think I must have been 17 or 18 years old at the time. So...
Okay, I guess I wasn't. 17 or 18 years old.
So High FM put together an event where they invited 3 comedians. One was Nimr Abu Nassar. The other one was... Do you remember their name?
Dean
Obeidallah?
Yeah, I can never pronounce his name.
Dean Obeidallah.
Really nice guy, though.
Yeah.
I'm still in touch with him now.
And then there was an Iranian guy. Forgot his name.
I think he was Lebanese.
No, that's Nimr. That's Nimr Abu Nassar. Anyways.
Okay, yeah, then the Iranian guy was Amr Khan.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So this was going to be the first stand-up comedy show in Oman, and they got international comedians to come in. So these comedians, they wanted an opening act, right? A local opening act. So they decided to put together a competition to decide who the opening act would be. Do you remember that?
I do. You make it sound like I'm old as sand.
Because I remember I met you not too long ago, and you seemed like you couldn't remember the details. So
no, I couldn't remember you. I remember all the details from that.
Fair enough. So I actually applied. And I remember being horribly bad. I remember going in front of this room where there were a bunch of people auditioning and the judges, and no one laughed at any of my jokes. It was horrible. I hope no one documented it and nothing ever happened. You auditioned and you killed it. And so naturally, you are the opening act. So you're the first one from Oman, or someone who lives in Oman, to actually go up and do a comedy bit.
Can I give you a little behind the scenes?
Yes.
Okay, so the first show, I'm backstage with the comedians, and I know I'm going to go first.
Yeah.
And I'm a nervous wreck, right? And I'm getting ready. I'm set up at the door, waiting on them to do the announcement. And Dean comes over to me, and he tells me, he says, "Joe, don't worry. It's going to be okay."
Okay.
And I turned to him. I said, "Listen, we both know that I'm your sacrificial goat. You guys are putting me on stage so you can get a feel for the audience.
And you can look good."
And what does he say? He pauses. He's like, "Yes, this is true, but it's going to be okay." And I went on stage and did it. And it's actually... there's a video of that performance on YouTube.
Till today, we can find it.
Yeah. Okay. On YouTube, it's 1,001 laughs.
Yes.
You know, the 2 nights that I did, the videos are on there.
I actually...
Don't watch the first night.
Okay.
The second night is so much better because I was more relaxed. I knew what was going on. The first night, you can tell that this was my first time.
I think what is truly impressive is the first local stand-up comedy show that happened here in Oman. If I'm not mistaken, it was in Dolphins, I think. But I know that you put it together. I can't remember the exact location.
Well, I can share you a little more on that. Once I went through the auditions, and I was surprised to see how many people were interested in even giving it a chance.
Yeah.
So some of the people that were there, you know, I kind of reached out to them because, I mean, okay, I wasn't a experienced, seasoned comedian, but apparently I'm better than you are. So I can share some of the things that I go through to try to put stuff together. And that's what formed Oman Comedy Central.
Right.
So that first the first workshops we were doing were at the Dolphin.
Yeah.
You know, because of events that I've done there, I knew the management. So their theater room, every, I think, Monday night, you know, we met in there, and then our first couple shows was in the Dolphin Bar.
So I was part of that crew, and this is the bit where you don't remember me being there, but I remember very clearly. I was this young kid, so excited to be invited in this adult venue with adults, you know, and to be part of the first local stand-up comedy scene was, I would never forget that. Just... one thing that I remember, and I want to take credit for this.
Okay, credit is yours.
Okay, you were the first stand-up comedy act in Oman. I give you that. However, in that first show that you put together, we were trying to decide who would go on stage first. And my name began with the letter A, so I went first. and it was just based on that. It was like, who, let's figure it out alphabetically. So I want to say, for the record, that in the first local stand-up comedy show in Oman, I went first. And the interview is done. We can all go home now. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate your time.
That you could. It's like, yeah. And I was the only one to wear white socks. Here, I started it first, white socks.
I remember you also had it in a competition format, so people had to clap to signal.
Yeah, for best comedian in the show.
I came second place, so I wasn't as bad as the first one. The first one, no one laughed.
Well, I mean, first place is better than last place, right?
That's true.
There you go.
I remember the last place.
You got to take a half. You got to take a half win when you can get a half win.
I agree.